Welcome back. This is NBAA TV. I'm Amy Sweezy, and of course we are inside the exhibit hall where everything is underway, and a big reveal for everyone tomorrow who comes to visit us at BACE 2023. My next guest is Jo Damato. Jo, of course, is with NBAA. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Amy. I'm thrilled to do this.
Yes, so let's chat about how important it is to get people into the aviation industry.
It's incredibly important. It's been incredibly important for years, but it's probably the top three conversations everybody here this week will be having 5 minutes into the floor. It's just, what are you doing to attract, retain, develop on a loop?
Why is that so important?
Oh, well,
what's happening?
Aviation is a special industry. It is a technical industry, and we need a workforce that is technically minded, that are excited about all of the things that people are going to see on the floor tomorrow. We need a workforce who sees they can build an entire career here on a non-traditional career path. I mean, when I think about how many exhibitors are here and how many individual jobs and careers exist, I know I could never name them all, but there is a path for everybody. And then how do we develop them? Because the people who are starting out with us today, they're our future leaders. So not only do we have to retain them, but we want to help them grow into the leaders we know that they're going to be one day.
And one of the things that you're doing here this week at BACE is that there is a career fair that's brand new.
It's our first career fair. I'd like to say the inaugural career fair.
So tell me about it.
You know, I love testing things out in real time, but I'm feeling really excited about this one. We have 17 exhibitors here who have also signed up to be recruiters in our career fair. We have a number of people already in the industry, students who are close to becoming full-time employment candidates or looking for internships, mid-career transition, military personnel who will be separating soon. All are going to have a great opportunity to interact with 17 companies who are going to have their recruiters here on site, taking their resumes, talking about their open positions. Really, if they need to learn about business aviation and some of the opportunities that they couldn't even dream about, real conversations that can lead to tangible results are going to be happening at this career fair.
Is it a specific time, or is it all throughout BACE?
No, it is a specific time. It's going to be here in the Central Hall, or next door in the Central Hall. And we're going to start it on Wednesday in the afternoon. So it'll be Wednesday afternoon and all day Thursday. So day and a half to make sure anybody interested goes and has some amazing conversations, looks at what opportunities might be available. And even if you're not here recruiting, doesn't mean you can't stop by and have some great conversations.
And if they forget where or when it is, they can always check out the NBAA app, right?
So I only brought my phone to this interview because I have to cheat and use the app. The only way I know where I'm going is using this. And it's also because we have great workforce programming that is perfect for anybody who is looking to develop in their career in aviation. And especially when I'm talking about development, of course, we have a lot of technical education happening here this week, but we're also focusing a lot on the culture. We know that to retain an employee in aviation, and especially with the competition we're facing, it's not just about one thing. So we know it is about your work-life balance. We know, of course, it is about compensation, and what does that package look like? We also know it's about the culture. What is the leadership culture? You know, they always say, you know, people don't leave a job, they leave a bad manager. And so a number of the sessions that we'll be offering speak to culture, and I thought I could highlight a few of those, but I'm gonna have to cheat.
Okay. Please.
So for example, so many people in the aviation industry are caregivers. And I'm not just talking about those with parental responsibilities or guardianship responsibilities, but a number of us are reaching the age where caregiving might mean for an adult sibling or for adult parents. That doesn't mean the only solution is you leave the workforce and you can't be successful in aviation. And so there's this, I think you're going to be talking to Jessica Webster later, but she is working on an incredible collective that is emphasizing the fact that you can be caregivers in aviation and be successful, and coaching employers on how they can create that kind of environment. That leads to, we're attracting great people into the industry. How do we retain and develop them? And not only them, their employers, to make space for them. So I'm excited about that one. You can find it in the app. We're talking a lot about the health and wellness of our employees and how important it is. People are bringing their whole selves into the workplace. Is there organizational wellness that can happen when we're talking about their wellness? Is it physical, emotional, mental, all of it? And so that is going to be happening. Sarah Calmeda is one of the two presenters, and she's been really connected with us on that conversation this year. You cannot go anywhere in workforce and not have a conversation on compensation. So Dr. Chris Broyhill has once again, I think for the 5th or 6th year in a row, going to talk to us about the cash crunch and resetting the bar. And he does research on this day in and day out. So when we get a chance for his insights, helps us with that retention, with that development. And then also Jennifer Pickerell is the chair of our Endeavor Working Group, really focusing on inclusion in this industry. And so she has a session, Culture is a Competitive Advantage. And I think if it was up to her, we could just rename everything. Culture would be everything. We talk about everything else separately. It's that important, it belongs on the marquee. And so what we've been able to do is infuse those sessions all throughout BACE. We're hoping the students are going to find those attractive, mid-career professionals, that these sessions are for everybody. And it shows them that this is an industry that cares. NBAA, our core values are on display, including a culture of care, developing community, helping people lead from any seat, delivering excellence. So that's what we're trying to showcase, in addition to all the technical knowledge you come to BACE to gain.
Right. Do you want to talk a little bit about Collegiate Connect?
Yes.
That's also going on.
There's so many things going on. I mean, I don't know how much time I get. I'm going to keep talking. Collegiate Connect is something that we really focused on a few years ago. I mean, we used to say, it's Careers in Business Aviation Day or it's Student Day. And that's all very important. We're also looking for who are our near-term employment candidates. Who are the people looking for internship opportunities, who are going to be graduating soon, who have already said, I'm heads up in aviation. I've intentionally chosen this career path. How can we try to get you to intentionally choose business aviation? So Collegiate Connect helps reinforce that message.
Okay.
I am the parent of one of these Collegiate Connect students and some in aviation. And what I'm learning is maybe that age group doesn't want to hear from those of us that are a few generations up. It's almost like, hey, my parents are trying to have this conversation with me. So I've enlisted the help of our YoPro, our 40 under 40s, our YoPros, our YoPro Council, and they are going to be leading a lot of the efforts on Thursday. They're doing a session, YoPro Secrets to Career Success. We're going to be highlighting all 9 categories of 40 under 40 so that the students can self-identify into those 9 breakout groups and find the one that most connects with their career goals or what they're interested in. And then each of those 9 groups are going to set out from Collegiate Connect to a predetermined booth on the floor connected to that category. So we're going to take them out of the session room onto the floor, connect with an exhibitor, practice some skills, and then you know where we're dropping them? The career fair. So
Perfect.
We're just really excited about this. Like I said, we're trying it in beta, but I'm feeling just really optimistic about the experience we've curated for the students this year. And hopefully, they're going to leave saying, hey, business aviation is where I want to invest my career.
And then they'll become a YoPro.
It's just a full circle.
It's great. I remember last year, the YoPro, there were so many events. There was a panel discussion. There were lots of small groups and sessions. Are there other, I know you mentioned a couple things already, but
yes,
other things to highlight?
The YoPros have been so intentional with their content this year. In addition, they're doing their annual YoPro networking reception, which is attended by as many non-YoPros as YoPros. It's the place to be.
I know. I'm like, what's the definition, really?
Yes, yes. YoPro at heart is good enough.
That's what I think.
But it's just so much fun to interact with them. We all, I think, draw more energy from their enthusiasm. And really, we're so inspired by them. The things that they're accomplishing at these young ages today, I think a number of us think, wow, when I was that age, I don't think I was that far along or I was that innovative. So it's really cool. They're doing a Helpy Hour in addition to that. So they're always looking at what they can do to give back to the community. And then the 40 under 40s, they're all getting recognized at a 40 under 40 lunch later this week.
Yes.
And I believe this is our 5th year of 40 under 40s. To think there's just, at this point now, 200 outstanding people who have been nominated by their peers or by their leaders. And then it's a very competitive process. They've risen to the recognition of this week. I was talking to one of them today who's also attending BACE for the first time. And I said, you're walking in here, maybe not knowing a lot of people, you're walking out of here on Friday, a household name. These 40 under 40s, I will tell you what, everybody knows who they are,
right,
and seeks to make connections with them instantly. So I get excited to follow where they all go after this big reveal week.
And I chatted with Stephanie Gatz, one of the
yes,
award recipients earlier, and I know
incredible
I'm speaking
person.
with more and get to interview some more throughout this week as well. How important do you think that recognition is?
I think recognition is important to everything. I don't think everybody likes to receive recognition in the same way. I'm sure there are some 40 under 40s who are maybe
Introverts.
dying inside, that they have to, you know, that there is a life-sized meter board with their face on it somewhere. But it's so important to recognize talents. It's so important to showcase to the veteran leaders out there, you know, who maybe are they just look around, they're like, is there anybody who's as scrappy as I was back then, or who's going after all of these things in an innovative way? There's so many of them. We only can recognize 40. We know there's so many more than 40. Recognition is important, especially for them to go back to where they came from. And if there was a skill set that they needed to strengthen, they've now gained 39 people in a kind of a cohort, if you will. And I bet they're going to start filling in the gaps for each other. And so together, they're going to make each other stronger. If we didn't recognize them, they wouldn't gain that, or they'd have to wait longer to maybe develop that skill set they need. And
I have to believe that helps with the retention side of things.
We need them. The thing that breaks my heart is when I find out somebody's leaving this industry, or they don't feel that it's been inclusive for them. It's just not okay. It's not something we can allow to happen. And this creating community as one of NBA core values, the culture part, it's so important to us. And as I said, that three-legged stool that Dr. Broyhill is always talking about, you cannot pay somebody at some point enough money to stay. You cannot give them enough days off to stay if the culture is not a place where they want to stay. So we've got to work on all of it all the time, whether they're new to the industry, they're staying in the industry. It's a full circle loop constantly.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations, because this is a lot of hard work, I know.
Yeah.
And you are obviously very passionate about it.
So passionate.
So good luck this week.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy. Keep your app handy.
I will.
So
Everybody, you need the BACE
together.
app. That's how you're gonna navigate. Absolutely.
All right, Jo Damato from NBAA. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Amy. My pleasure.
All right, you are watching NBAA TV.